So
NA versus EU showdown again.
Yep. It's going to be Team NA versus Team EU. It's going to be Genesis from PC North America versus New Watcher from PC Europe. I'm betting on Team NA this year. Okay, I'm not participating. I'm just spectating. And if they lose, if NA loses, I will personally give away a pink Torchbug pet to like anybody on any platform, any server. Here's the rosters. We have Cabs on tank, Wonder on tank, Ham on healer, Icky on healer, Akimbo, Ambition, Gokages, Huga Booga, Centilius, Supermex, Jedi, and Xavier on DPS roles for PCNA. For PCEU, we have Citizen Game on tank, Hyper Reoxys on tank, CP Charles, surprisingly, on the healer, Halferdel on the healer, and Alduin, Alkedios, Epke, oh god, I can never pronounce this name, Epkefe? Okay, Hero, Jerno, Just Fitzy, Lord Drad, and the Mean Grinch. So this is going to be pretty interesting. We're going to start here pretty soon. I think NA's going to win, like, hands down. Oh, my man puppies on the couch.
Welcome to QuakeCon. This is going to be our ESO segment of the stream.
Someone minus X 13 minutes before it.
Back in Dallas in person this year because we have been doing remote streams for the past couple of years. And while that's great, it's really nice to be here.
I got popcorn.
There's just this certain like
popcorn chat?
electricity about being at the BYOC that just makes it so fun. And we're really happy to be back here this year. So for this year's stream for ESO, we are going to be doing a score push for Veteran Sanity's Edge. Now, this is our newest trial. They came with our newest chapter, Necrom.
Yo, I'd be sitting right next to Mike right now.
We're going to be doing a score push. So
I would scooch over and rub my leg up against his leg and put my arm around his shoulders.
Competing head to head. And we have some really good prizes this year that they'll be able to win. So for the winning team, we're going to have what are some of the prizes?
The prizes. So custom print of Sanity's Edge, signed by the ESO. Oh, that's so cool. Sling backpack. Oh, they get an in-game house.
We have
a 12-month ESO membership. Okay.
Of course, there's going to be a crown pack and another ESO Plus membership for them. They have to complete the trial, though.
Runners up get 5,500 crowns.
We also have for the grand prize winners the Fair Winds in-game home. Now, this is one of our really cool houses. It's the boat house that we've seen a lot of people asking about.
There's no way they could afford 12 chairs, bro.
But if they win, they are going to get their very own boathouse.
Hell yeah.
It just came out yesterday, yeah. So for anybody watching on Twitch Live, we do have Twitch drops active. If you watch for at least 15 minutes, you'll get yourself an Ouroboros Crown Crate. And if you watch for at least 30 minutes, we're going to be giving everyone a 50% XP scroll. All you have to do is make sure that your ESO is
50% XP scroll.
Good to go. So
the only winners here are the people in the competition.
Shoutcasters or commentators for today's stream. We have our lead encounter designer, Mike Finnegan.
Hello.
Okay.
And we have ESO Stream Team member 8 Puppies, who runs his own Twitch channel. He has his own YouTube channel. He kind of just does it all.
Okay.
He's the real star of the show.
We thought he would be perfect for this because he actually does a lot of kind of
casting.
Esports type commentary for our 12-player trials. So this was right up his alley. So Finn, as far as development for Sanity's Edge, which is the newest trial this year, what are some of the things that you're most proud of with this trial?
So I think we wanted to touch the elements of the story. Typically with a trial and a chapter, we explore the fringes of the story, and we wanted to carry that forward this year. So going, not necessarily focusing on the Hermaeus Mora angle, but focusing on the nightmares and the dreams, and actually exploring what that means when somebody's mind is going to be taken over, and how you can stop that. And those were the goals. And I think that, well, as you'll see, it hit those goals. So
no spoilers, but
no spoilers.
And then for you, you've been running this trial a lot since it's come out, right?
It's an understatement.
What do you think makes this so fun for people?
I think that there's just something for everybody within the trial. In any level of your progression as a player, there's something that Sanity's Edge has to offer for you. If you want to complete it, it's something that's very achievable. If you want to progress the hard modes, the fights aren't overtly draining in progression. They're very recoverable, and that's something that you can do. If you want to push the trifecta, it's the same idea. And if you want to score push, there are really difficult iterations of the fight that exist for each fight individually that make it really challenging if you want to.
What's some of your favorite parts in this trial?
I think one of my favorite parts of the trial is the second boss. Even though I wouldn't necessarily consider it the most challenging, just the moment on PTS when I saw that Chimera pop out for the first time, it's just like, whoa.
I think my favorite part
really
is
cool
like
looking boss in front of your face. It's got
the
some good
trash
mechanics.
boss that like spawns
Seeing it
randomly.
in
Honestly.
just a few minutes. As we mentioned, we do have some really great PvE teams. They've been running this trial a lot themselves during their own time. They do a lot of score pushes on their own. They always try and get on the leaderboards. So we are going to actually start with our team on PCEU. They have named themselves New Watcher. We have just kind of like a roster that we can pull up so you can see exactly who is in this group, because we have a feeling there's going to be a lot of names on here that you probably recognize.
Anybody that knows anything about like trial score pushing, yeah, you're going to recognize some of these names.
I don't know anyone.
Yeah. So
I'm just sorry.
if we have them logged in and ready to go, we can go ahead and hop
Wait,
straight to gameplay.
you only showed the
And
EU.
then Finn and Pups are going to be kind
Bruh.
of talking through what these teams are doing, where they're, some of their strategies maybe, and we'll see what kind
QuakeCon
of
EU
score they end
bias?
up with
Question mark?
at the very end.
It is the get good portion of the stream. All right.
There we go. Very optimistic about this group. They've only been raiding together as this team for not even a week, but they've already accomplished some really, really solid scores and some fight times on each of the bosses. I think I saw a screenshot the other day of this team clearing with 34 vitality in about 18
That's pretty impressive. The speed run.
This is all
The goal of the speed run is 30 minutes. We try to target that
blurred.
towards
I gotta try to
a good
transition
number
away.
of players. But yeah, as players get better, more familiar with the trial, they definitely
I was like,
try
that's a
to,
security
push
risk.
this, much harder.
Yeah, and most trifecta scenarios usually finish closer to 24 to 26 minutes if you do the quote-unquote safe strats. But as we were talking about a little bit earlier, these players are obviously going to be doing the most difficult iterations, the burn strats, and that significantly knocks off some fight time.
That is for sure.
Do you think they'll be playing in first person?
No.
I mean, no, but I would be impressed if they did.
Yeah, right? Yeah,
It's the real hard mode.
Some of these runs, the ones that are on the top of the leaderboard, I mean, they can go as, I think they've gone as quickly as, what, like 15 or 16
So who's streaming
minutes?
this?
I think that around 18,
Charles? This is
15,
Charles.
18 minutes is about as quick as people have been going. They eventually, as people get more familiar and they try out new strats, they get a little bit better and a little bit faster in some of these trials. So we
But it's
we
not
try-
Are they
all
not doing it at the
about
same
how fast
time?
they go through if
Oh,
they're
maybe
trying to
not.
get a high score, right?
correct. Usually,
They only get
what we
one
try to do,
try?
as Pups was
Probably.
mentioning earlier, is there's risk.
I think so,
strats.
Warwalker.
So you come in
Not
and,
sure.
and you're like, okay, we're gonna push the
Your-
score.
your
we're gonna do
icon's
the
showing.
safe strat, and your time isn't quite as good. But if you do the risky stuff, that's where you can get the biggest gains. But high risk, high reward.
Yeah, for example, on the first boss, a lot of the safe strats will clear that boss in about 5 minutes, but when you amp up the difficulty, you can clear it as quick as 3.5.
Yeah. So
All
this is Vanton here. He's got problems with his mind, and that's what
having some issues
Yeah,
right
he's
now.
having issues. I think the main issue is everybody's jumping on top of him, but they're gonna jump in here and start this trial here in a minute. And
Okay.
you're basically going into this guy's mind. He played with the Daedric artifact and it messed with his mind. So
Here they go.
Oh, they're going.
here they go.
You're going.
And with that, we're starting the
Popcorn
trial,
out.
Sanity's Edge.
Let's see how
Really
EU
good burns
does.
that we're looking to see here from a really solid roster.
So
lot
this
of
is a
these
score
players
thing,
are
not a time
combinations
thing.
Of teams that you might have heard of, like Unchained Animals or the world's first Sanity's Edge, wipes on reset,
Yep.
as well as a couple of other players in between. That burn is just absolutely insane.
Nephis
Nuking that Enforcer before
is
it even
a
teleports.
liar.
Yeah, they're doing one team at a time.
4-second burn
A
on an ad with
bully.
3 mil HP.
And he's toxic.
Yeah, they're really good. There's some danger moments in here. There's a random spiral descender that can appear in some of these base pop holes. So you have to be very careful about when you challenge these and when you tackle these on.
There it is.
There it is.
Okay, wow.
They got him pretty early. This is a fairly safe location for this guy to pop up. There's not a lot of there's no disruptors, nothing really damaging in this area that can really hinder the burn on this guy.
Gosh, and they're flying through that
Yeah,
burn.
they are. Look at that.
It's a really interesting score push element to this trial as well. The RNG that can factor into
Yeah.
when this ad spawns. Like if you're really trying to push and it spawns on the bridge when you're doing that double add pull. It's really dangerous,
Yes.
but if you stack
All right,
it
they're
together,
going.
you increase your time dramatically.
So the
And we
score
try to
is
keep
based
that
on
head
vitality
swivel
and
approach as
time.
we do this, as we,
I think most important they should keep the
develop these
vitality.
trials so that, you know, you got to always be prepared.
if
you know,
possible.
Be ready for anything that comes at you.
I
Oh,
believe another interesting element to
You're
this
gonna drag
team,
it.
they're skipping past the Watcher and going to bring it into this next
Yep.
poll, but I don't believe that this team collectively has gotten a full VIT clear. And when we're looking at two teams as phenomenal as what we're going to watch today, it's going to be a matter of very likely who has the most vitality by the end of the run. If we see two teams finished with full VIT, that would honestly be somewhat shocking, even keeping in mind how good these teams are. But I think that it's ultimately going to come down to who has the least amount of deaths.
Yeah. And it's really going to, this is where we talk about the risky strats. This is what we're talking about is you can pull all these things all together at once, or you could separate them out. It's a little bit safer, a little bit more time.
Now for anybody
I
who's
think the
maybe a
Watcher's
little bit
safe to
newer
pull, honestly.
Watching trials and score push, you'll see at the bottom right-hand corner that
I think I only have one
where
attempt at
you'll
this.
see the score progressing throughout.
They can't reset.
And that's a score. There's some factors that go into that score at the end. How much vitality you have left, how much,
Man, these
how much time you
barriers.
have left in the trial based on where the target time is. So that'll factor into the final score, but that vitality down there in the bottom right corner is very, very important because each one of those is points on the table.
They're pre-dotting the boss already. This is going to be a strong burn on the Wamasu here. And a lot of the burn strat in this fight is stacking that Wamasu on top of the boss, focusing the boss and ignoring the portal threshold mechanics. But this first Wamasu, you want to make sure that you target even with the burn strat.
Oh,
because if you
the
push
burn
boss
bomb!
too quickly, you're going to get a second one. And even in the burn strat, it's a really dangerous situation to be in.
What?
And with that Wamasu as well,
Yeah, I have to heal through
one
that
single
real
Wamasu
hard.
has more than
Holy crap.
10% of the boss's
The one person
health.
almost died.
Wamasu spawns in the first 10%.
Bruh, what were those fire bombs?
Yeah, and the typically for newer players, as we were talking about, this isn't going to be a strategy that everybody's going to use. You're not going to stack this up and burn it. That gets to be a little bit too damaging. So, but this, as we see, like the top end players kind of challenging these things, they're gonna again go for those risky strategies.
The burn was really good. We saw a moment ago that somebody accidentally stepped in the fire AoE and spread it, but it looks like the group was able to recover it. That fire dot can be really damage intensive.
Can be brutal, especially on a tank who already has the Wamasu. I'm speaking from experience.
Especially when that cone comes out.
Yes, exactly.
Looks like we got an ice cage coming out to the right here. The Wamasu percentage has already been pushed, and we're nearing the end of the shrap.
Yeah. So I'm surprised Puppies
Wamasu.
hasn't mentioned
There
the
you
skill bar yet.
It's down to the third
But
one as the cage pops on throne now. It looks like the group's trying to utilize
the person
throne
streaming
strategy here.
has revealing
Probably use that
flare
Wamasu
on their front
charges.
bar for mitigation.
Near that elevated surface, and the Wamasu will stop charging.
They want to
into
play
that
safe
elevated
here,
surface, so that it goes
honestly.
right into all of the cleave. As portal comes up, they're going to continue pushing the boss somewhat. This is dangerous, obviously, as we know. They're trying to chain the
Oh, they
archers
are.
in
They're
quickly.
actually going for the portals. So
No, they have
good.
Deadly Cloak.
it's a tough strategy. It's a wrinkle thrown into the fight where these portals come up, and you have to be able to go through the portals in order to damage these guys.
Yeah, I'm interested. I only see
Oh my god.
one. I think they only got 2 ghosts. If you chain the archers in quick enough, which this group, by the way, is having their Arcanist DDs.
Nice.
With the class having the most flex spots, run either chains or crushing shock to help with bashes, and it looks like they were able to skip a couple of archers by getting them in just before the ghosts connected to make them vulnerable.
Pretty good.
That's nice. It's good strategy. It shows, working together and how that practice can really make those.
No, you
fights go
can't.
faster.
You can't portal skip.
They are flying through this
Yes,
fight
look
with
at
no
this.
deaths. This is
Look at
usually
this.
the reset boss on here, and they've already pushed past the 55%
It's been 2 minute 20.
shrapnel. Wamasu getting ready to spawn shortly as
Ice
double
right.
cages go out again on throne.
Gotta roll this one. Hell yeah, nice.
Well-timed roll with that knife blast. That's
Nice.
seeming to line up pretty well with the group there. They're going to dot up the Wamasu, make sure they're cleaving the boss. The next big stop percentage is for Portal at 35%.
And they're bringing real safe. Minor protection, major protection, Deadly Cloak.
Wamasu out. They
Yeah.
get another Wamasu at 30, and then a shrapnel at 25, which is when they'll set up for the Exi nuke.
Hopefully they're not playing too
Charge going
Good
into
job
too
of spreading
safe
that
here.
fire out, not getting it anywhere near the group.
Oh yeah, and that's a really interesting mechanic to learn how to tank. Trying
Second
to make
portal's
sure that the
coming
fire
up.
gets out of the way of the tank. People have been popularizing mist form actually
Yeah.
for the tank on this fight for that reason.
What? Yeah. Uh-oh.
Looks like they're waiting on one more ghost.
Should've told that to
finish in
Finn.
Portal here before they continue
Mist Form's
to
gonna get
push.
nerfed again.
And it's right there on the throne. The Arcanist is going to take
Another
care of it there.
Wamasu's up here.
Charges into group, no deaths.
That was good.
This is looking like a good no death first
This is-
boss.
This is. These guys have to be pretty happy about what they're doing here.
Absolutely. And I think one thing that's worth emphasizing with this too is each team has one run to make this happen. When you talk about world records or score pushes or trifectas,
absolutely,
you reset for hours and hours each day. I mean, to come in and do something this incredible in one run is
a lot of pressure in this run, and be able to kind of put it all together and handle that pressure.
Yeah, if someone dies, you gotta keep going.
For sure. The boss is nearing about 10% at runs.
They got burn it.
Got
one more roll dodge.
Damage, and they gotta really
one more
make sure that
on the tank.
Or nuke the boss quickly.
Oh,
and there goes the first death.
That's why I said on the tank. I was like, that's going to go to the tank. I hope. Oh my God, rip.
It was a true shot that goes out.
Yep.
Was it a true shot? Or what was your charge?
Some of the best players in the world, and it can creep up on you and it can hit you. So
really
you got to head on a swivel. You got to keep that head on a swivel. This section is really interesting. It resembles Orsinium, and there's some very dangerous monsters in here. These disruptors, when they come up, you have to really pay attention to them.
Oh yeah, you got to make sure everyone's tab targeting on them. You got to make sure that you're doing good trash damage. Maybe even this section of trash is really difficult too, because you really want to try to make sure that you save your ultimate for the double disruptor pool. So you don't really get to use it on the first two pulls that we see disruptors in. Then you get the RNG of the spiral receptor timing. You never really know if it was worth it or not.
Yeah, the Spiral Descender, again, this is another section where the Spiral Descender can appear anywhere.
Yeah, the higher your score wins.
If it lines up
so,
with one of
while
the
yes, they should focus on the speed run, they should also focus on
pretty quick.
keeping the vid.
Without a doubt. This team has some really
that one vid at boss 1 might cost them here. What? Cameraman? Cameraman? What is the stream coming out?
One thing that we don't see very often these days especially is throwing martial knowledge on the healer POV. But this time for both bosses,
they're having tech issues
on the healer so that the Sork can remain
full there we go.
Which is Sork's single target right now is really, really strong. So they'll have that advantage in their overall time in the first two bosses.
There's a Descender. Oh, they got him in between pulls. That was a
so
lucky break.
Nice.
It's really good. This means that they can tackle this guy solo. They don't have to worry about other monsters that are in the fight. You can see they're already taking a lot of damage. He is very damaging by himself. So if you get him with another group of monsters, bannermen, and disruptors, it can be really, really scary.
Those disruptors are so dangerous because they enrage the targets. And enraging the mini-boss is definitely not a situation you want to find yourself in.
No, they got this.
And it's pretty high range, too.
It's an easy burn.
Of their disruption. It can hit things pretty far away.
The trick to these polls is knowing where your techs are going to stack them and where which ones you should be focusing. But for the most part,
for some reason, I find that
if you're consistent with where you're stacked, where they're being stacked,
the longest walk to get into
it's gonna be good.
The stack.
They were able to take care of that one, no problem. So
like the groups have the most issues with disruptors tends to be the groups that, for some reason, have different stacks every time they go back in the trial.
That you're going to see is going to involve quote unquote one phasing the Chimera. So you'll see. When this finishes, there's a mechanic where everybody has to go and complete.
Oh, they're starting right away.
The burn strat is to not have to do it a second time.
And the puzzle is random. People are going to be assigned a random constellation, a random creature, so they have to go into those. So you have to be aware of where you're supposed to go and what needs to happen in that particular puzzle room. So it's again another adaptive thing. You have to adapt on the fly to what's being presented to you.
And it's such a fun mechanic to go in and handle, because if you get in the situation where you don't have any support in your portal, then you have to kind of call on your tanking experience.
They have
the boss is very survivable.
one Templar DPS, and
if you're aware of boss rotation,
I saw at least two Arcanist. I think I saw one. No, the two Arcanist DPS. Yeah.
They do have a tank in this room. The Lion one being usually the most deadly to the DPS. You'll notice that we do have the Crow here running Exhilarating Drain, and this Crow is also running the new mythic Crypt Can Investments, I believe is what it's called. And this is a really interesting mythic that they're using to try to be able to get this player's ultimate ready at a very high number, so that they're able to get an extra ultimate and essentially burst that Chimera phase. They got to burn about 90 mil in 90 seconds. The group has to put out a combined 1 million DPS to achieve that burn.
It is a challenge. We'll see if they can do it.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't any team basically limit? Yes.
So these puzzles are random, the order they're going to be. It's kind of like a memory game. So you have to come in here, recognize the pattern that is happening, and then put it together so that you can definitely handle it as quick as possible. It looked like there was a little bit of trouble in here, but they were able to get it down.
They were able to get it. A very popular strat is to let Griffin
finish Finn looks very disappointed.
They
got it.
Common to see them complete last there.
He's like, damn, the puzzle wasn't hard enough.
We're going to see if they're able
they got it.
to pull this off.
Can they do a one-phase Chimera?
Out early so they can save the Pillager for a little bit later here.
They have a lot of time. This Chimera stays up pretty long. You're going to see a lot of.
It's already
little
at
monsters coming
70
up from
almost.
around the side. Those aren't going to be too much of a challenge for him.
Oh, especially with recent strats.
Yeah.
One very popular strat that players have begun using is having the healer taunt the Chimera right before this chain lightning phase goes out. To make
Bruh, what's going on? QuakeCon.
The little mini ads can definitely be dangerous to DDs if they're not taunted quickly, though. The Lion is a one-shot light attack if you're not blocking. They are nuking this boss.
50%.
I don't even know. That's the second out of I believe, 6.
Oh god, that
meteor phases, maybe
lag.
5?
Yeah. Yeah, they got him down. They're working through it. This is a good run here. They got to be pretty
I don't
happy with
think-
what they're doing here.
Absolutely. This is solid.
Man, they might miss
You
it.
got to appreciate the markers to let
Maybe.
the players
Yeah,
know where to
exactly,
stack so they don't
exactly.
put
Yeah,
lightning
yeah,
on each
yeah.
other.
Oh man, they're
You got the next
They
chain
know.
lightning phase. The healer's going to grab
They
the
gotta push
boss
this
here, so the
fast.
right side gets the mechanic, and the tank's going to grab it right back.
no one's died yet, which is good.
Chimera,
Go ahead.
Chimera approaching about 25% now here in Exi as they're getting ready to burst the end of this fight.
Oh
now.
god, please, so close.
Yeah, we just recently made a change
they can do
to
it.
make,
Just-
taunt swapping a little bit
I
easier.
think someone went too far away.
Make taunt swapping a little bit easier.
They got it. They got
Opened
it.
up
Don't
some
worry.
of
No
those
way.
strategies
No way.
for
They don't
people
got
in
it.
high-end community.
Oh my
And
god,
they
so
get it
They
just
got it.
before the Chimera disappears into the one
Almost was
phase.
there. He was almost there.
Seconds to spare as they do end up hitting that burn. That would have been a massive time loss, but they pull it off with literal seconds as that line
bruh, I was like thinking to
Now
myself,
you're going through,
it was so
the
close.
line
Like,
phase here. This is going to be a mix of different monsters that you're going to see. There's no Spiral Descender in here, but you do have disruptors that can pop up here.
Oh yeah, and that second pull that we're about to see as soon as they finish off this Wamasu, that disruptor is a hard one to burn because
Yes,
you
it
can't really
is.
pre-dot it very well. It's pretty far, and you gotta either run to
okay,
it or pull
last
it into the
boss
group.
is
You gotta
honestly
make
where
sure
I
that
would
it
be
dies quickly.
clenching
It's by
butts,
far the priority
honestly.
target.
I'll tell you, doing this at not a high level, as you go through this, you kind of stop before these pulls and decide what you're going to do. But I do appreciate the organization behind going through and everybody knows their job.
This final pull here, every trial has their
5 people
their
died the lightning
hardest path.
maze.
Hardest
Pull
one of
in the
almost
game.
every
I don't think so.
edge. Yeah.
Yep.
They're going to nuke the Enforcer here, and that is going to be the
Oh,
burn strat.
boy.
The Disruptor is the priority target, but the
It's a good
burn
stack.
involves
It's a
making
good
sure
stack.
that Enforcer doesn't
No,
port.
doesn't teleport,
Ulti
yeah.
dump with mechanical acuity, everything
It's a good
just gets
stack.
absolutely nuked. They bring
Yeah.
the Paranoxia into the next pull, everybody avoiding the AoE watch.
I think they got the they got the Paranoxia.
Oh, yeah. They're going into the final pull on Soul the Tormentor here. Those first 2 bosses, that first boss burn can definitely be pretty difficult.
Yes, it can.
The second boss is relatively easy, but the last 20% of Onsol is arguably
Yeah,
one of
the
the
last
most difficult
20%.
fights in the game right now. And a very common strategy is to even run 3
Oh, they're starting
healers.
right
That
away. Look
third
at that.
healer, it's
That's
something
what
to
you
handle
want. Look at the
pretty much
gear
all
swaps
mechanical
before the
elements
portal.
of fight that make it difficult. Interrupting the flame atros, taking
Yeah.
care of
This
the
is good.
landmines on the ground.
This is really
dealing with
good.
the banish
They have
mechanic.
one
But now
vitality
they'll have
loss,
to have
so-
one healer handle that mechanic, and the DDs are going to have to be really adamant about making sure that all
This is a
that's
good
being
push.
done correctly.
Man, they're playing real.
This is a really good fight, and yes, it does highlight the strategy of when we do hard modes and stuff, and making these that much more difficult as you tackle them.
Oh, yeah. And usually as well, they have a Sork in group specifically to be able to range the Flame Atros with the tank utilizing a skill like
Yeah.
Siege Shield to extend the range of Archer abilities typically. And this team is opting to drop Martial Knowledge on this fight all completely, which is a really popular buff set to run to increase group DPS.
It's really risky,
so they're going
though.
to drop that so that the Sork doesn't have to run it at all and
Yeah.
So
can focus on damaging the Flame Atros.
Here's the maze mechanic. You got to get through this as fast as possible. Get 4 people in there because there's some. Let's see. There's some pretty damaging stuff in the next area, so you definitely want to tackle this as fast as possible.
Nice rule.
Ansel will also he has some abilities where he will separate the tank
Okay.
or separate a target from everybody else. So you want to make sure that you have your strategies right on who gets pulled
Flame
over there
first,
and who
sadness.
takes
Yeah.
the ad that pops up.
They're pushing that threshold quickly. A quick correction, it was Genesis that's opting to drop MK. This MK Sork is actually killing the Flame Atros.
Oh, okay.
Which is going to make the burn on the Flame Atros a little bit slower. They're hoping for that maze last, but they obviously got the Fire Maze first, which
Yep.
means they're going to have to deal with that
They're going to
throughout
have
the
to
fight.
deal with those first. Yep. And the order of the mazes is random. Again, this is one of those things that we try to do in development to keep people on their toes. So they're not there's a strategy for how to handle it, but not always how to handle it in the exact same order.
That's the interesting part about
Well-
Onsol. It's a lot like VCR in that sense. You got a mechanic that's introduced with
Yeah.
each new maze that begins to pile up as the fight
Nice rules,
progresses.
nice
So
rules,
by the
nice
time you
rule.
finish the last maze, there's a
Should've rolled that
lot
one,
going
Tudge.
on.
They're approaching the second maze now. Mini's gonna
They're
die.
doing really well here. Let's see, have they all joined back?
What is this? This is
Yeah,
And they get back in time.
Poison-
for sure.
poison
That
maze?
portal's getting nuked pretty quick.
There we
The
go.
boss burn outside is really solid as well as we get into the poison maze, getting ready to put on their goo shoes.
Yes. It's like Ghostbusters.
The interesting thing about this maze too is it feels a little chaotic and it feels random, but it's actually very, very predictable and consistent. You can run the same pathing on each maze every single time and have the exact same results. Right?
Absolutely.
nice death row. Very nice.
Onsol has a lot of percentage thresholds as well. That banish mech that Finn was discussing earlier happens at the 10% after maze, with the mazes happening at every even 20% until Exi, that is. Sunburst being kited out well. It's really important to make sure that healer catches that and execute. It can cause a lot of problems if it's not dealt with as far away from the group as it possibly can be.
There's
Absolutely.
poison mine. Left, right.
Lucky though, in terms of no death, getting the lightning maze last is very preferable for the no death.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's going to directly relate to how you tackle it in the final phase too. You know, which ansels you're gonna kill.
Oh yeah. Still 35 out of 36 here. The most difficult part of the fight's getting ready to happen pretty soon as they get the second rack. And that'll really be the key. It'll be interesting to see whether or not they decide, ooh, somebody caught by the fire there, health fluctuating like crazy, but he makes it through it.
Oh, God.
Praise your healer. Praise your healer.
The amount of mitigation that's needed to keep
Yeah.
somebody through that. It was a little bit surprising. They skipped it the first time around, but got it the second. I don't know if they were anticipating it. Here is the dreaded lightning maze. These traps can just plague players sometimes.
Yes, it can.
You can coordinate
It
it.
is their visibility is a challenge as well as
Yeah, you just walk through. Look at that.
lot.
So organized. That's what you want. People know what they're
Every
doing.
player making
No one's
it
gonna
is
die here.
relatively
There's no way gonna die
successful,
here. Oh
dodging
my
through that
God!
last one, they'll
One
turn
person
the
was
maze
down.
off, and they're going
That
in
barrier.
to the most difficult portion of the fight now. That portal is definitely the most damage-intensive one.
Yes.
So much so that the off-tank even is using the Master Resto with
Oh,
Healing
nice.
Springs and Orb and
Yes.
Combat Prayer for their group in there. While they're triple stacking Echoing Vigor as well. They're going to try to kill that maze before getting a second lightning
Yeah.
mechanic. They're going to have to nuke this manifestation before the split.
That's an interesting thing because each of the side mazes.
Okay,
each of the side
this is it,
places,
execute. They're
they're gonna have
approaching
different challenges
20% soon.
You're going to want to tackle it in a different way.
Without a doubt. Those
Called right.
landmines that you might have just saw at the bottom of your screen just get popped. Those do a lot of damage.
Yeah,
to the
those
players.
suck.
You have to really make sure you're watching your feet
Especially
because
poison
they pop
mine
up quickly. They're
the
avoidable,
flare.
but they're really tricky to see sometimes.
Absolutely.
If you
Minis,
can't-
first
if you
mini's
get
out.
caught by that,
Taunt
a
swap
poison
soon.
mechanic or an
Yep.
enraged fragment or an imp or literally any other mechanic, you're probably going to die.
They gotta focus the mini, or just cleave it down probably at this point.
Praise the healers here.
Roll.
It's a Wrath Storm that comes out in early roll dodge, but it was corrected with relative
Another
ease.
roll
That
dodge.
manifestation's getting nuked, it looks like, as they're about to push the split.
They're pushing it.
Here comes the key
Splitting.
to a
This
quick
is the
split.
tough
It's
fight.
all on your
This
tank
is it.
here.
This is the moment.
They're going to get a Wrath Storm very early on from that red
Good
one. They're gonna
Destro.
need to watch their positioning as
Oh,
this
God, the green.
stack is trying to get brought in. There's the Wrath Storm. They're going to stack on the corner. This is tight enough to do good AoE damage, but they're going to have to focus the blue one more so than the red or green.
Good poison
Try to push
stats.
this out before the next rack mechanic comes out.
Next poison coming in on the right.
And there it goes. This is
Split phase is
officially
over.
execute with 35 vitality.
There's
If
gonna be a
somebody
meteor.
dies, they will not res. They're going to push for the score.
There we
here.
go. Here it goes. This is the score push.
That enraged fragment going crazy.
There's a
Finally
meteor.
erupted. Not
Nice.
even
It's taking
opting
that
to throw
group.
any barriers. They're
There's gonna be a
one
Wrath
rack
Storm as well
followed by
during
a Wrath
racks
Storm here.
probably.
You gotta really make sure that you kite these AoEs close to the boss. The cone's out. Wrath
Yeah,
Storm
but not
is
too
next.
close for the tank.
The barrier goes out
Wrath
just
Storm.
in time for Wrath
Roll
Storm.
twice.
Nice.
Oh
Wait,
no!
somebody's died, but they're not going to res.
What the?
Your vitality gets reduced when you res.
was that a
not when
healer?
You die. So if you can preserve your score as long as you don't resurrect.
They can kill it. They can kill it. They can kill it. They can kill it. No, it's is that 10%? Oh, yeah, there we go. 0%.
There we go. They
I
got
heard
it.
a zero.
They
Nice.
got it.
Close.
35. That was a great score.
That's a 270.
That's
I believe that's
276.1.
200 score off of a current world
Nice,
record, missing
nice,
one
nice.
vitality. That's
nice.
insane.
That's
Wow.
fantastic.
Wait, what is the world record? Let me
Was
look
it
again.
270?
Looks like
We
270.
need to write down the
Oh,
score
276.
somewhere.
Sorry.
That would
Okay, it was about
be-
1K off of the world record.
No, that's
Anything that they were
2K off the world record.
the support, handle a much
USA.
larger chunk of the mechanics overall. They don't really have any DPS in crushing shock for the first boss or in chains. They're just putting a lot of pressure on the support to make it done really well here. They are,
If someone walk over?
doing Roaring Opportunist and Jorvolds
Oh,
for their Slayer
nice.
instead of Slayer stacks.
Nice.
This is it.
And they're getting started.
Here it is.
Why
Team
would you
Genesis
transition
getting
away?
ready to make their
What?
own run
Cameraman!
here. See if this team is
Yo,
able to
they
put
are so
up
biased
the
against
type of
NA.
score
What the
that we
hell?
saw previously or better.
Oh,
It's all
thank you,
gonna come down to
cameraman.
that first boss.
Yes.
Oh no, it's over.
Very
It's
similar
over.
nuke there that enforcer
It's over.
dying even before the
The
teleport.
burn is so much faster.
5
It's
seconds or
over.
less.
It's a really, really
It's
fast,
over. It's over.
report there. We'll see if
Eddie
they can
wins.
spiral the center here, get
I
that,
swear to God, if Eddie
lucky
loses.
pull, they-
Doesn't quite look like it. But the tank is keeping an eye out for it. They're going to go on to the next one here.
They're just going to keep going to try and get them.
I think their
Interesting to
healers
see if
are
they end
Warden
up
and
getting it
Arcanist.
on the bridge.
On the
Yeah,
bridge,
Warden and
that's a
Arcanist.
tough pull.
And there it is. We get
Oh,
the
there we
solo
go.
pull.
They
The
got
tank's
it.
probably going to run ahead to grab the Watcher here
Yeah.
while they
the
kill this
proxy.
boss. That Watcher's gaze can be nasty. You got to really make sure
Yeah, this is NA.
that you're not in the
But
creep
they
of that.
might hold it and
Okay.
no, they're doing pretty good here. He's melting pretty fast. They got him in a good spot. Talked about that before. You get him in that solo in between phase.
Rapids.
And, it
Nice,
makes it a
nice.
little bit easier on your team.
Without a doubt.
There's a Paroxia.
Oh, they're
One
not
thing about
dragging
this
it.
team as
They're not.
well is, I believe in terms of the trifecta,
They're not dragging
I
it.
don't
They're
think
just
this
like,
group
fuck
has
it.
Run with this exact set of players or really at all, but most of the players on this team have a lot of trifecta experience, a lot of them being
Yeah.
a part of the world's first
Oh,
push.
Yep.
They have a lot of experience going into this run for sure.
Yeah, they're individually have a lot of experience in putting that together with a team. There's a lot that goes into putting it together with a team. Make sure that you know the cues that everybody else is doing, and you know where to stand.
Well,
and where the
Finn, not
healers are
just that,
dropping.
but you gotta make sure
So,
all 12
yeah,
people are available on the
there's a lot
same
to get
day and
used to
time, and make sure people are
You end up
showing up
separating
for
this bridge
raid.
pull, which makes it a
Hey,
little
you
bit slower
gotta
than
make
what the
sure,
first
you
team
know,
did, but
need
again,
fills
honestly, at this
maybe,
point,
you know?
even if
They're
they,
still burning really quickly.
Oh
so,
yeah, and even if they know and understand at this point that
Yeah.
if they continue their burn strats and just have 36 vid,
All right.
they might be
Yeah.
taking these pulls a
This is
little
so
bit
fast.
safer, just a little
Yep.
bit.
And here's where the first team had a
They gotta start.
had a slight misstep. So we're going to see if they can overcome that misstep.
They overcome.
To reiterate one more time, that XQ portion of that fight is so essential. You get the most damage-intensive mech of the fight, shrapnel, occurs
Roll.
right at 25%.
Right.
And then there's a Wamasu spawn at 20 and at 10. And with a Wamasu comes 5
These
archers.
bombs are
Those
so much
archers
better,
are
holy
a
crap.
True shot, which is
Gotta
like
interrupt.
Exactly. You have to interrupt. If it goes out, that player is dead. Doesn't matter if they're a tank. So in
matter who they
Execute,
are.
a lot of players try to save their ultimates for that 25%.
Nice roll, nice
push
roll.
And nuke the boss before any of the archers have a chance to get that
Chain.
mechanic out.
Absolutely.
Because that boss moved out right when they were trying to make that push, they weren't able to do so. And I mean, it's not even necessarily a
Firebombs
misstep by
again.
the
No.
tank.
Oh!
It's usually somewhat consistent to time that
Yeah.
out, and it looks like the fire just didn't happen. It's a
Yep.
Oh, he got hit by the cleave? They'll
Now,
kill it
Wamasu
before
going
it
out for a
goes.
second charge.
No,
here,
really?
A little surprising,
Okay.
a little bit of a slower burn on the Wamasu than we
Yeah.
saw the first time. They
We're
do
gonna see
push that
another-
shrapnel quickly, though.
Yeah, they do.
Nice barrier.
The sounds of QuakeCon.
The sounds of QuakeCon, I know.
Firebombs. Good
Doing a
firebomb.
good job, like a lot like the first group, doing a good job of keeping those fire bombs out of the group. That spreading fire is pretty nasty.
Can get deadly, especially if you happen to get it with a mechanic like shrapnel. It's
Yeah.
over. Well,
Mm-hmm.
not over, but really difficult to recover. It's the knife blast with the cone out at the same time. This is a pretty damage-intensive mech on the tank. You can see his health
Absolutely.
moving up and down like crazy on hard mode. They kill it before the cone
Good
even
chain.
finishes. That was
Jump.
a solid Wamasu nuke, and it's because they were holding the portal percentage. That tank really quick with the chains. It looks like he got 3 of them in
That was
before they were
that was quick.
even invulnerable.
Yeah, nicely done, Cabs. Nicely done.
Now, when this portal comes up, you have the 4 ghosts that spawn
Good
around the room
positioning with
4 archers,
cabs,
and essentially after a few
and not
seconds,
just
those
taunt
ghosts
stacking them,
attach to those archers,
but
making them
also
unique
being
because they
far away
can't
enough from the
damage.
boss that he doesn't get the ice cage.
And the archers in general, it's important to note, it's even more important to chain these adds into the group as quickly
Correct.
as possible because chains does not interrupt to the true shot mechanic. It has to be bashed. It's like the second shrapnel concluding
Boss is
now,
approaching
with one ghost
40%.
still active on Throne.
They're gonna be
Just
getting into the
finishes,
second
and that
portal
archer's
phase
ready to
soon.
be damaged. Fire cut it out. Frost
They're
bombs
a bit
out on the
faster.
left.
2 minutes
Double.
and almost 2 minutes 20 into the fight. Nice roll.
Goes out, those chains coming in as quickly as possible. Likely another
Good
fire that's
bash.
going to go out before that boss gets kited back into group. It looks like they might have pushed, I can't quite see, it looks like they might have pushed the second portal. If not, they're really close.
Yeah, they're really close. It's 35%.
Not quite. So they're just killed that
Yeah.
Wamasu as they push the second
That was
portal.
good. That was probably good to.
Oh yeah, definitely makes the fight easier.
Yeah,
I just remember we saw the previous team push the portal and that Wamasu out at the
Absolutely.
same time. So logic should dictate that this team might be slightly behind New Watcher's fight time at the moment.
But
In my opinion, keeping the
how
vid
much
is
time you have, if
important.
You have that increased
Oh, yeah.
vitality, that can make up for it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we also saw, I don't want to say a slow burn. Nothing about this is a slow burn, but not New Watcher's fastest burn, I suppose, on Chimera.
Yeah.
And, you know, you could just as easily have a slower first boss.
Yo,
and
that
a quicker
Wamasu,
second
bro.
boss and
What's
make
going
up
on?
those time differences as well.
Good ice cage.
I'm interested to see
Missed
when
the
that
chain on
spiral
that
comes
one.
down in the second section too, because New Watcher came
Keeping
into
it
and
still.
they had a good in between.
Yep, yep.
So we'll see if these Genesis gets us lucky.
For sure.
Now they
Once this
burn it.
Wamasu goes down, we're looking at the most dangerous part of the fight, the one
Fireballs
that's
in
most important
10.
to have coordinated as we get into Xe now.
They can
They're
push the
preparing
shrapnel.
for likely one more fire that's going to go out. The tank cuts
Yeah.
it out
Oh,
perfectly.
great
The boss
kiting.
doesn't move. His ice cages
Great
come out to the
placement.
left
Oh
during
my
shrapnel.
god.
Might see a barrier go out here for that. It looks like we get a gibbering
Yeah,
shelter
yeah, they're gonna kill
instead.
before the
And
second
this
Wamasu
boss is
spawns,
not
probably.
moving. This is going to be a solid execute from this team. Looking like the no death.
Yeah.
The shrapnel concludes.
Yeah,
the
it's
boss
over.
Really dead. The
Unbelievable.
Wamasu's not even up
they
yet.
didn't
It just
even
spawns, and
spawn.
the boss
They
is
didn't even
going
spawn the
down
Wamasu.
before
There
the
one
torch
Wamasu.
even goes out.
He's even
That's
at the portal,
insane.
just
That was a
waiting.
heck of a-
That was a great burn.
Complete no death.
That was a great burn.
Heck of a burn on that one.
That was a solid burn, a perfectly timed execute by Genesis, and their vitality reflects that going into the second set of trash.
Unbelievable.
Golly, that burn was insane.
Yeah, it was
They didn't
really
even
good.
see
It was
the
so
second
good. They didn't even
Wamasu.
see the second. They didn't even see the
Yeah.
Wamasu come up. It's funny because the charge came up and he ran, but it was already dead.
He was dead.
Already
It didn't even
dead.
matter.
It didn't even matter.
Getting into our first disruptor,
Disruptor
pull
pulls
here.
here, and hoping that we can avoid a spiral descender coming in here too.
This one's not too bad to have a
I think they
spiral
would
descender.
take it here as opposed to later on in the.
it's already dead.
in
It's all
this,
dead.
Section.
No, you say that, but with a group of this burn, I almost think it's better RNG in a score pushing scenario to get it with
Fair
that
enough.
double disruptor pull.
Yeah.
Because you can bring
Absolutely.
everyone's saving their ults for that pull anyway, so if you walk the spiral descender
for
into
sure.
that nuke, then it maybe even dies faster.
The only danger with that is if those disruptors
If they enrage,
put it
right?
on the spiral descender, then it becomes a
Right, but I mean, if they enrage,
Oh,
then
they got the same exact
again,
spawn.
Exact same spot.
So
Now what are you doing? Okay.
I think they're going to play this one a little bit safe. Take this in between,
yeah.
not drag him in the next pool.
Definitely, especially with 36 vitality, knowing
Absolutely.
their situation, they're in really
Absolutely.
good shape right
They
now.
are- They're in really good shape. Like I said, that extra vitality is really gonna matter for the score.
Assuming all goes well, the only potential death spot that I see being an issue is the lightning maze.
Lightning
That's
maze.
the only kind of question mark in my head at this point. But
Yeah,
you
someone
never
just
know.
died.
Like I said, the pressure's building at this point. They know they're in the lead, and
Yeah.
can they keep that composure?
No,
as
no,
they
someone
continue
died.
on?
Right.
Oh, and that chain far away. Two of them never made it in.
Akimbo died.
Uh-oh.
I think they got stuck. It looks like
Slow.
they're going to lose a little bit of time on that,
I think
unfortunately.
he's just
But
gonna, yeah, they're just gonna blow past this and bring it to the next.
Man, now it's time based.
the
That
pro-
was a pretty quick burn.
Now it's
very
time
quick
based.
burn as they approach the
It was
Chimera
Santi,
here.
not
Also
Akimbo?
looking to one phase.
Okay.
We saw it once.
Centillias?
We'll reiterate that puzzle phase that we saw New Watcher do earlier is what this team is also hoping to avoid the second time
They gotta
around.
burn it.
Yes.
The vast majority of teams that'll do this fight have to do the puzzle
Why?
two, maybe
Why would you
even
die on
3
trash?
times.
The
So-
vast majority.
The vast majority.
Yes.
Okay, so the difference here is
looks
they
like-
pulled it,
A little interesting
spot.
strat change between NA and EU there.
But he just
it doesn't make that
went
much of a
at
difference
the
in
boss
fight time,
spawn.
but the strat that we just saw, pulling the boss to the door and then bringing it to the pillar, is just
Right.
kind of one of those unique little quirks of NA strats, I guess.
Yeah.
It's better,
Watcher,
in my opinion.
New Watcher put him on the door. So
Golly, that thing is getting
that
nuked.
yeah, the burn is so fast.
12-8 is not
but they
lasting very
can't
long,
lose a vid. They can't lose a vid at this point.
Wamasu found
Tanking
it.
the
Like
Wamasu
maybe they could
portal,
have
that's
lost
really helpful.
That
the
is
36 of it at the boss 2 or boss 3, but not now.
That
It's
Wamasu boss does
it's
a
kind
lot
of.
of damage. It's survivable as a damage
There's no
dealer
way,
if you know
bro.
how to- if you have a heal slotted, like especially
I'll be
as
so
an
mad
orc,
if
this
NA
place is
loses,
really
guys.
nice.
I'll be
This
so
flail can be a
god.
nice
I'll be
heal for
so
that.
mad. I'm gonna end the stream.
But,
like I'm
again,
gonna rage
reiterate,
quit.
What they'll likely opt to do, the
After
Griffin
Pink
spawn
Twitch- after
location
Pink
for
Twitch
the-
ball giveaway.
excuse me. When the puzzle phase is finished, the
I'll be
Chimera
so
will spawn.
mad.
The Chimera spawns
I'm like
at the
channeling
location
my
whichever
thoughts
puzzle
to
completes
fucking
last.
Team NA right now in
So,
cabs.
A lot of what players
Don't fucking die again.
A lot of what players attempt to do is leave Griffin as we just
Avenge
saw here.
me!
They know
Avenge
exactly where
me!
it's gonna spawn. They can
From
pre-dot it like we're
2021.
seeing now. so that it starts getting nuked the second
They
it's
seem a
available
little
to do
bit
so.
faster than New Watcher was on this. They had to come out of the line and go into Griffin to help out there.
Timed out very well.
This is going to...
I swear,
this is
if
gonna be a very
someone
quick
dies here
burn.
to chain lightning, I'll be
Did they-
so sad.
Okay, I see.
Looks like they're opting for the 2-tank strat here, funny enough.
That's what I was saying, is I didn't see the taunt for the chain lightning.
Yeah, a really interesting comp decision here as well. They put the DK
They want more
Cat right now
damage.
is in Alkosh. They took it off the DK so that he could run Reliant Advancing, which Advancing is becoming a more and more
There's a
popular
chain
set,
lightning,
especially
the
with
taunt
feed
goes
nerf
off.
and the upcoming Dagger nerf coming out for crit.
Great
Plus,
AoE
taking
positioning.
60% very easily.
So good. Cavs
That'll
is doing
definitely
so
assist in
well,
their
you
burn
guys.
for this as well.
So good. Like,
It looks like the first
he's
one, I
giving the
believe,
DPS so
has
much
come
room.
out.
It's crazy.
So the next set of Sunbursts goes out. Tank stacking it with all of the ice. Chain lightning going out on the tank side.
Like, look
is
at
the
that.
Third one now.
Good placement on those meteors.
As the boss is
Good,
rounding
that's an
roughly
understatement. That's perfect.
35% now. New Watcher did an interesting strat with those meteors. Most NA teams say this is your meteor stack, put them all in the same spot.
Right.
But New Watcher kind of started back and worked their way
Right,
forward
they
as
had a-
meteors
yeah, they had
progressed.
a-
That's common.
They had a good progression of
You
knowing where
you
to
go
stand.
further out the like you go far out the first time, and
Add-ons
you
to tell them
progressively
exactly where
like
to
get
drop
closer and closer. Okay, it is at 5%
They're
soon.
almost dead. Not much time left to do it, but it doesn't look like they're going to make that.
I think they're gonna make it.
Yeah, they're
Meteors
gonna make it.
coming
They're gonna
out,
make it. They're gonna
boss
make it. They
rounding
have to make it.
less
They're
than
gonna
5%
they have to make
now.
it.
This will be the
Yeah.
last
There it is.
lightning.
Nice, nice. It's a bit faster. It's a bit faster.
So they're really pushing this time here. They have
It's a bit faster.
Vitality. They're probably a little bit faster than New Watcher was right now. We'll see how they tackle the last phase, last state or section.
How crazy would it be if we saw a new world record pop here?
It'd be awesome.
That would
Well,
be insane.
with the missing
You
vid.
have one run. This is your run on the
This is your
stage
run, yeah.
in front of all
Highest
of these
pressure.
people.
Highest pressure.
No.
The most intense situation you can be
Unless they
in.
go like
Live on
18 minutes
QuakeCon.
somehow.
Record. That would
New
be
world
insane.
record.
Yeah.
Don't let us down. No pressure.
So that disruptor pull we talked about a little
Yep.
bit earlier. This can be a little bit of a tricky one to burn, but it looks like everything gets stacked, and the tank's going to go grab this Watcher early. Got to make sure that that Watcher walks in, though. If it's taunted where it is, it'll pull the next set of
Bro.
trash.
Yeah, it looks like he's waiting.
Yeah.
Wait,
Will they burn this separately? I think they will. I think they're going to preserve their vitality. They know
absolutely
they're in a
makes
good
sense.
situation.
They're in a good spot.
If they can make it past even to the split with no deaths, they will probably take the high score here.
Well, they do have a death.
They do. When did they have a death?
I don't know. I think we blinked and missed it.
Well, they do. Yeah. That had to have
I
happened.
can
Trash.
see it over
In this
here.
set of trash.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
What?
It was after first boss? Oh, so we totally
wow.
missed it.
Wow.
It's still fun, even if it was first
All right,
boss.
well, now they have to press.
There you go.
There is a lot of pressure now.
Forget that I can look at these bigger numbers to my left and
I
right.
know. I
trying
was,
to look at
I was
that.
looking
Exactly, yeah.
before I spoke just to make sure, because
Okay, please.
Here
comes
NA,
Ansel.
no
So
throw.
this is actually is so this is anybody's game now at this point. This
anybody's
completely
game.
changes everything.
This is now a speed attempt. You gotta,
This is
you
how
gotta
quick can you do
get
it.
The same vitality, and you got to get faster.
So they had a faster first boss time. They had probably a slightly faster second boss time,
Yeah.
but I think they took a little bit longer on that previous trash pull.
Yes.
It's all going to come down to their onsel here.
And I'm going to say that New Watcher had a death. They didn't have a vitality loss, but they did have a death on that.
If
extra
NA
phase,
wins,
so
spam this copy pasta,
they may,
bro.
You know, if they can keep everybody up, then it's just
In
more
in
DPS
the
adds to
Bethesda
pile.
Twitch chat.
Which maze comes up is going to be very important here. Do they get lightning? Do they get poison? Do they get flame first?
Oh yeah, if they get
I'll
flame
do
last,
it, and
they're
I'll
really
do it. You don't have to
scary.
spam it. Just like
They
copy
don't have
paste
to have
it.
any
Just
damage
copy paste
pulled
it,
away
copy
from
paste
Flame
it.
Atros.
Do they get poison first?
It's a good start.
As a European,
better
it was
RNG
always
than-
hard for
than
me
what
to
we saw
understand
you
American
watching.
culture. What was fascinating for me is that they like bragging about their freedom, which was weird for me because I didn't think that I have any less freedom than them. I always thought, what is the difference? However, after this game, I finally understand it. NA is just so free.
Each team really making sure that they don't get to wear a brand new pair of goose shoes,
There you go.
that they don't get slowed down.
Good poison maze.
Funny enough, I believe Team Genesis as well is opting to run 2 Arcanists in a DK in Portal with Alkosh. So they're having...
I'll change it for you after this QuakeCon.
Yeah, I think they're having Azure on the Arcanist for this team, if I remember correctly. I might have this swapped,
no.
but one of these teams is running a DK in
However,
Portal with
after
Alkosh,
this
which is a really interesting strat to try to clear
QuakeCon.
Portal quicker.
Yes.
There's
And you
to
end up
keep it
having
relevant.
double Alkosh on the outside here, which should end up being a little bit of a damage loss on boss, even though it results in a quicker overall Portal kill. Yeah, it is this team that's running double Alkosh. So even with that change, New Watcher might be able to pull a slightly.
Yeah, Necro's more of a
console
support
time.
DPS.
And this just goes into the strategies that we talked about. Everybody's going to have their own comp and what particular.
No one's died
they're
yet.
gonna find
No one's
most
died yet,
effective.
chat. They're approaching the second maze phase here soon on Team NA. God, please, Team NA, please don't throw.
Getting ready to push into the second
Please.
portal mechanic now. It's important that that manifestation goes down so that the healer doesn't
Yes,
have to
absolutely.
worry about
Yeah.
running through the maze.
Yeah.
The player who gets banished, who gets sent away, perfect RNG
Got
here.
light-
Lightning
yeah,
maze and
lightning.
then fire last. This
Fire
is
last.
the speedrun RNG right here.
Yes.
This is also the most dangerous maze as well. They got to be really careful
Absolutely.
here.
No, this is good. This is good. This is good. This is good. They just gotta walk through it. Nice rapids.
Super important to make sure that they get rapid specific.
You can see that they're moving fast, but they're also
Oh,
really,
why?
really respecting,
Why through both?
These little light.
Jesus.
Ooh, that was fast.
They get a lightning trap trigger, or a lightning trap triggered right at the end of the portal there, but everyone's able to roll
Yeah.
rush through, no problem.
That was great. That's a situational awareness thing. You come into this and you know exactly how to handle these situations.
Oh, yeah.
And that's, like I said, that comes from practice.
Or even know like
Fresh,
what to
fresh.
do if things go wrong, right? Or things are slightly off by even like 10 seconds. You gotta know what to
Add-ons telling
do.
them right the poison icon above their heads. That's convenient.
Puppies is so salty as a console player.
They do have, I would say, a little bit more of a chance. Is that a death?
No,
They
no
have
one
a
died.
little
No one
bit more-
died. No one died.
Yeah,
Stop
they do have a
baiting.
little
Stop
bit more of a
baiting.
chance
Stop
for death here,
clickbaiting.
though, with
No
these
one died
mines
yet.
Popping up a bit earlier
Yep.
with poison as well.
Nice pop. Oh God.
Great one.
Please, Team NA. Please don't throw.
It's really important if you have poison to make sure that you don't get caught in one of those mines.
Absolutely.
Just as important for players without poison to make sure that they're popping those mines when it's safe to do so.
Looks like they're opting for the tank to handle a lot of those on the back end.
Oh yeah, definitely a good decision. Even on the third healer role in heavy armor, that's usually
Yeah,
a sole
for
responsibility
sure.
for them as
So here's
well.
Flame. Maze isn't quite as tough as Lightning, but worth respecting nonetheless.
Last maze.
Radiant Regen definitely carries through this maze here. Somebody does happen to trigger a trap, but this is a very easy one to build ultimate on as well, roll dodging through those AoEs,
Yep.
and you see some players utilizing that mechanic.
You can also
We're
see the
getting right
Arcanist
near to the
generate
end
their
here. It's
crux
all
with their
going to come
tentacles
down to
because they're in
this portal.
combat
We are
during
at
the maze.
Same vitality, 35 vit. It's just going to be a matter of who does the
is
trial
it.
faster, who has more damage.
Can
This
they
is it.
keep their
Please,
entire
Team
group
NA.
up in order to try and burn through this boss and keep that DPS ready?
Oh yeah, it's going to be huge. Making sure that that manifestation gets nuked, the split gets stacked quick, and avoiding those wrath storms, which they will now have once that manifestation spawns at 30%, which it looks like we're about to approach if we haven't already.
Good. Oh God.
Yep, healer taking the boss away now for the banish.
I saw
Ooh,
that.
a calamity in the middle of it.
I was like, All right.
Manifestation's coming up now.
There it is.
Portal
Pulled
team?
in here,
Question
they're just gonna
mark.
Cleave him down.
They should be out soon.
This is the most dangerous
Portal group is back. They've
Oh
rejoined
God, yeah,
the
good
group
roll,
here.
good roll. Oh no,
That's also
please.
a
Okay, there we go.
dangerous moment as well, coming out from the portal and all
Roll,
those mechanics.
roll.
Yeah.
No! Someone got touched.
Platform
Please
out.
heal that man.
Nobody's health bar even fluctuating. Performed perfectly. Stack
Wow.
discipline well.
This is really great.
Oh
Raph's
God, the
coming
healing
out-
is so
Raph
good.
coming out right now. The danger with these rack AoEs is not even necessarily avoiding them, but it's the imps that they
There we go,
spawn,
split
getting them
phase.
under control,
Now how?
making sure that they
Oh,
don't
oh, oh,
run
no,
too
no, 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 no.
For sure.
Oh
got
God,
that
Split
cabs.
Here, you got to get them stacked up.
Roll. Don't get touched.
Wrathstorm out. That blue one a little
bit.
out of
No,
step.
roll.
He was a little out of there.
Also, face towards
Please.
the group. Got to be aware of the phobic bolts
Yep.
there, but it looks like it's going to be okay. The blue's going to need a little bit of extra attention. They'll try to push before Rat goes out here. And they'll
Good,
do so
good push, good push, good
successfully.
push, good push, good
This
push.
is it. This is the last run. Remember, New Watcher, they had a death here. They had a DPS death here. Slowed them down just slightly.
Good push, good push, good push.
Banish immediately on the healer here. Sunburst coming out, taking not as far as I would like to see it taken
Yeah,
away,
but it's
just
good
gonna
enough.
take
It's good enough.
the
It's good
second
enough.
one
It's good enough.
especially.
Comes a rack.
Rack happening now. The Wrathstorm coming soon. You'll likely see a barrier pop out shortly.
Roll,
right after.
roll.
Nope, here it is.
Yep.
And
It looks like they're going to do it.
everybody's
It's over.
alive.
It's
Pushing
over.
into the
It's over.
boss Here. The score's
Flawless.
about to pop.
Flawless.
This is
It's
fantastic.
over.
There it is.
This was the run.
A 276.775. That
Wow.
will be it. They will take.
They will take
the
it.
top
They
score
are
of the
going to
run.
take it. Great job.
Yep, they did
by
it. Team NA. I don't have to give away the pink torch mug.
35 vitality.
All right,
word
chat.
vitality.
Time to spam it in the chat. Yeah, thank you, Gambit. Thank you, Gambit.
Beat him by about
Thank you,
30
Gambit.
seconds
Thank you,
on
Gambit.
that
Please,
run.
everybody, copy paste.
That's all
Copy
it
paste.
is.
Unbelievable.
And
Copy
it
paste,
really comes
please.
down to what we saw in that
Yeah,
first boss.
exactly.
too,
Copy
in that
paste.
cutscene.
Yeah,
Crazy
look at
how
the
one
fucking
moment like
chat.
that can make such a big difference.
And at the end, when that new watcher losing that one DPS at the end just wasn't able to push it quite as fast.
Man, that was an absolute
Oh my
phenomenal
God.
race.
Really
We
great.
just saw
That was
Sanity's
really
Edge done
As a
twice in row.
European,
Yeah,
it was always hard for me to understand American
This is
culture.
what we talk about when we talk about the high-end players in our game that practiced and put in the work.
Oh
and
my
stuff like that,
God.
and they're able to push these high-level strats.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And a
The
huge
moderators
shout-out
are like, what the hell's going on?
congratulations to Genesis. Again, that roster, in case you missed it, DK tanking was Cabs, Crow tanking was Wonder, Warden healing Hammy, Arc healing Icky. We had D-Ding, Ambition,
my God.
Xavier, Akimbo, Jedi, Hugga Supermax, Luna Bell, and Go.
Someone said there's no American culture.
Go Cages?
No, let's.
I'm glad
Yo,
you took
salty
it. I
EU
was
player
really
in
glad. I was
chat?
Like, oh, I'm gonna kind of flub over some of this. I'm glad you took it.
You know who you are.
But yeah, huge congrats to Genesis. On
Unbelievable.
Oh my
Great
God.
That was
job.
a really, I mean, both.
Honestly,
fantastic,
phenomenal.
Like,
right?
it was a pretty
30
close
seconds
one,
of each
honestly.
other.
Just because of that one bit.
Unbelievable.
Like, I was getting nervous.
Congratulations again. Both teams for completing the trial will receive prizes, but Genesis will get the grand prize. Now, speaking of prizes, we kind of want to spread the love a little bit. We know we have a lot of people watching on Twitch. We have a lot of people kind of tuning into social
Oh,
and
man.
seeing how things
That
are
was
going
pretty
for
good.
QuakeCon.
Congratulations to Team NA.
We are going to be giving away some of these